boy KB back with episode 64. It should be. Now, I'm sitting here with two awesome lady barbers. I hate to say that shit, but that's how the term is out there. It sucks, but we're just barbers.
Yes.
I have to the left of me Miss Carrier Meyer. Come on, introduce yourself. Say hello to the people.
Hello, guys.
You done move from the microphone.
Well, you moved
shit,
me.
I done messed it up. Sorry. There we go. You can just you right here. There we go. Let's get that going. Come on, introduce
Hey
yourself.
guys, I'm LeGacia Meyer from Legacy Hair Studio, and I'm just blessed to be here.
And then to the right of me, we have Quan the Barber.
Yes.
At Quan the Barber. That's what the thing is.
Yeah.
Ooh, look.
Quan the Barber.
Quan the Barber. Alright. So, to just keep things going real quick, like you brought something to my attention that I didn't even fucking know.
What's that? Women's History
I had no
Month.
idea.
Oh, yes, it's Women's History Month. Yeah.
I'm like,
Period.
when she said that shit, I'm like, oh, alright. Like that's what's up. Like I had no idea. Like when I didn't know women's
Shout outs to all the queens
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, so this episode came right on time.
Yes, absolutely.
I was thinking about that on my drive over. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
It is
Look
super
at that.
cool. It is
Yes.
super cool.
Nice
What
and
way
tight.
to, pay homage to, female barbers, lady barbers in the industry, in this male-dominated
Yes.
industry,
And we're gonna get into that, right?
All right.
But
Correct.
last episode, right? I don't know if anybody. Well, I said it. One of my favorite shows. I mean, one of my favorite movies is Brown Sugar.
Okay.
And in the movie, one of the characters is
I've seen it like one time. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
And so now Lathan is in the movie, right? And she plays like editor for Double XL.
She's an
And every time she interviews, people in her field, she starts it out the same way. And I find it very fitting for me to do the same thing, kind of, sort of, because as barbers, it doesn't start off for everybody as a passion, but it can grow into one. So my question to you both, whoever can think of an answer first, is when did you first fall in love with barbering?
Well, I go first.
There we go.
So I'm an artist at heart. So I always drew like anything I could like just make something out of. So that was the thing. But growing up, we were told artists didn't make a good living. So I was like, all right, I could do hair. So it was hair I fell in love with, just trying to, just the styles, just like, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do men and women. Like, I didn't want anybody to sit in my chair and ask me for something and I couldn't provide.
And you're
I'm
dual license, right?
Yes.
That's a lot of that takes a lot.
It was easy.
Did you go like the school route, or did you go school
the
and
school
you
route.
went to apprenticeship?
I pocket for barber in school.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I like.
So this
So
the
did
thing,
you get your license first in cosmetology?
Yeah, so this is the thing.
Okay,
you
go.
gotta learn the game.
I'm listening.
But I'm
here.
trying
This
to
is
change
fun.
the game. Go ahead,
So
get
the
into
game
it.
is.
Here's innovation. This type of innovation only comes from women. But go on.
It's like I did reach out to plenty master barbers and asked them like, hey, look, I'm already a licensed cosmetologist. I really want to learn how to fade. I want to learn how to cut. Would you teach me? You gotta stand up all day. You gotta cut in 15 minutes. I'm like,
Wow.
oh. I'm like, okay. So then the one guy, he was willing to teach me, but he wasn't licensed himself. And he was like, just go to barber school. I know the perfect one. So he sent me to a Barbers hair.
Oh, there we go. Very alumni. I found it.
And Dundalk, and I went there.
That's where I went.
Paid out of pocket, found out, because I'm a licensed cosmetologist and my license is valid, it was half the price.
Yeah,
But-
and half the hour.
Okay.
And half the hours. However, I'm a natural talent, so I knew how to do hair before I went to hair school. I only went to hair school because you grew up on this thing, the best stylist was the kitchen beautician. But then I was seeing that kitchen money, and I saw the license money, and I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and get my license and go ahead. But I feel like going to barbering school, to me, I feel like my skills got top notch. Like, it enhanced my hair skills. Like, I really felt like I learned more. Like, everything just started to make sense. So I really don't see why they separate the two. Because I really feel like if it's all taught as one, you're very, like, you come out more well-rounded and, like, your skills just it just takes off.
I don't understand. You know what's funny about what you just said? You don't, like you said, do you understand why you separate the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it trips me out, like, on a licensing exam.
Yeah.
It's one specific question that stood out to me that got on my fucking nerves. It was like, what type of braid is this? Like, when you put hair, like, it was a feed-in. I knew that shit, but I'm like, why the fuck is this on a barbering exam? I ain't braiding the fucking thing.
That's interesting because the braiding chapter is a new chapter. It's not even like the Milady's books.
Yeah, I remember seeing
I have
that shit.
3 different kinds of books. I keep all my books because I've been to hair school 3 times. I quit and gave up every time.
That's
but,
a woman.
And you
braid.
here,
I'm
period.
So,
That's
but
a
That's
woman.
why I love
so,
her.
but I kept all those books in that chapter. I think it probably didn't get into the books until the 90s. So you gotta think.
Hold
I
on.
mean, I could be wrong, but I think, to my knowledge, the braiding chapter, like with the extensions, is a fairly new chapter. Like it wasn't always there because those books, you know.
I don't remember that chapter at all.
In
I just knew the
barber
answer
book,
because it was common sense to me,
Yeah.
being in this field.
I don't remember. I don't think it's in the barber book. In my barber book, it's in my shop.
Yeah, it was a lot of things on the barbering exam. I'm looking like, why the fuck
Yeah.
do you think I'm supposed to know that?
The zoning laws that's in there.
The hardest part to me was, the hardest part to me was
That
the
was
state laws.
interesting. Yeah, that
Honestly,
was very
because
interesting.
that's not in the book.
But here's the thing, that's the difference between your regular license and your senior or your master license.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back to test, you really are literally going back to test for the laws and statutes. You're really not testing for anything else to get that upgrade, to get that, oh, I'm a senior, oh, I'm a master's. So if you can go do your research and get that, then, you know, but it's just like people, I don't know why they don't do it. I think everybody who gets their license should try to get their senior, because what better way to give back and have apprentices under you if you want to expand. Some people don't want to
Own your own
expand.
shop.
Some people don't want to, you know, grow a community or whatever the case may be. But to go back to, you know, your initial question,
Hold on, excuse me, sorry. What initial question?
your initial question of, you know, when you fell in love with barbering.
Before you give your answer,
Okay.
I had to go through an announcement or two real quick.
Okay.
I was looking for a segue real quick, but I ain't know it was gonna go that fast into what you was going.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't mind me. This is a very,
That's like that. What was that video at that school board meeting, and that lady was shopping, and that guy was like, "Yeah, you over there shopping on that."
What are you talking about?
yeah, like pause for a second, hold up, cuz.
Like I didn't know that was gonna come through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right. We're a few minutes in now, but I always have to remind my listeners, my viewers, whatever. Feel free to visit thecustbykb.com. You know, we got these beautiful products. I got t-shirts, money's in the details. I got some electric
His
shavers.
merch.
I got do-rags. I got fucking all kinds of shit. Go on custbykb.com
Good stuff.
for your product, your barber products and accessories. We even got the hot beard picks.
See, I'm about to
and
get
all
on.
this
I'm
stuff.
trying to get on your level.
You know, see, there you go.
I think I'm gonna get that hot
It's-
beard pick.
Hold up, y'all skipping too much. Hold up, let me get through my announcements because these are questions that's coming.
Okay.
But feel free to go to custbykb.com, buy some shit. I'll have it delivered to you soon, real quick. And also, as we announced on the last episode, you know, now if you would like to support the show, you can by going to patron.podbean.com/KNS. Send a nigga some money. Don't make me bring my leg out again, please. Like I did the last time. If you watched the last video.
Yes.
And, you know, shout out to
You,
our new
He did bring
listeners,
his
our
leg
new
out.
viewers, all that stuff. Welcome. And you know, that's my quick little, you know, I gotta throw that out there and make sure people know where to, you know, support a nigga and all this other good stuff. Now,
We jumping back on the highway?
how did you
Segue
fall?
is done.
When did you first fall in love with barbering?
So for me, it wasn't. For me, it was more so the versatility, like Quan touched on. I wanted to be able to do anybody's hair, and I have this big thing. I want to do hair for like movies and TV shows, and you know, I want to be able to travel and just. I don't want to get somewhere and not be prepared, right? So as in the industry, just being able to do both men and women is a big deal. So for me, I went, you know, I started off small and
Excuse me. The question is, when did you fall in love with barbering? At what stage of your life? What point?
so
I was
I was,
There we go.
I was
I would say, you know, I fell in love up with hair as just the transformation aspect of it, right?
That's what it is to me.
The transformation aspect of being able to just transform people. I was young, y'all. I was like 6, 7 when because when you go to a hair salon for the first time and you see how people walk in and then you see how people walk out, that sticks with you. And you say to yourself, like, I can do that to somebody. And then that's how I did it.
You know what's funny when you say that, right? Because I tell people all the time, like, this is the transformation for me. Like, of course I want my money, but I take, it's like brings me joy to watch this ugly son of a bitch, excuse my language, this funny, this.
I don't call nobody ugly.
Whatever.
I don't got kids yet.
I love the reaction of the
it's
time.
like, but just like.
But it's hard with these masks now, y'all. Like,
No,
No,
it's in the eyes.
It
I'm
is.
a person, I look people in their eyes.
Yeah.
I recognize people with their mask on.
Yeah, but like when you
know,
take them
so-
from, you remember that
Some
show, Jenny
people I
Jones?
know. Yes, I
You remember that
love
show? It
Jenny
was like from
Jones.
geek to chic.
Yes.
It's like you taking this person from
Yes.
looking crazy to looking like, oh.
Yes, you remember
Yeah,
Jenny Jones?
like, you don't remember that?
Nah.
How old are you?
Y'all gonna have my age
My
on.
bad.
Dang.
You don't have to answer.
No,
It's
Okay,
okay.
it's okay. It's okay. Look, don't tell on us.
Yeah.
we telling our
It's
age.
okay.
We telling our age.
But no, I don't know those. But I take it that they're transformation shows.
Correct. Well, it was a talk
Yeah.
show, and that was just like one of the.
One of
you
the
know,
things, it was like
she was
they
really
take,
popular for her transformation.
yeah, it's like taking the ugly ducklings and
Like,
turning them into
yeah.
swans and shit like that.
But that's my whole thing. Like the client's reaction, I love when they turn around, they cry, they have a testimony. Like, yeah, I am a therapist to a lot of my clients. I'm a
We
friend.
are therapists.
I'm
Hey,
a-
therapist to me
I'm a
too.
friend. I'm a mother to some of my clients. I'm like a sister, a second wife, or a husband. I'm just all like I play a lawyer sometimes. Like I was a correctional officer for 9 years before I fully went into doing hair. So it's like I think my background helped me evolve.
Centered
into-
around people.
Yeah, it's always been centered around people, different types of people. One of my first jobs was at Nordstrom, and everybody Nordstrom is known for their customer service. So like learning those skills.
That was back in the day.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in the day.
Because customer service nowadays.
Nordstrom. But I mean, like I said, that was back in the day. But anyway, I feel like it helped, around me as a barber, just a business professional. So like, I don't want anybody to sit in my chair and feel uncomfortable. If you want to be quiet, you can be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
got
how I
to do
am.
these cool things.
That's how I am. Matter of fact, you want to
Professionalism.
listen to.
You want to talk?
See, that's
talk.
tough. Yeah.
I can listen.
Yeah.
If you want to cuss, you can cuss.
You actually
wanna
clients that?
What? Do I ask them? No, I
Do
just
you
go
want to
for.
talk?
No, I just
Oh,
basically.
I'm about to say, I ain't.
I always have a way of making people talk. Like I always
You
like,
seem very conversational.
yeah, but people, yes, I am. And like some clients, you ever get the client that come in with the attitude?
Yeah, of course.
And
It's typically
like,
with me though.
it's like not with you, but they just wanna,
The energy just off.
yeah, and they wanna pick at everything like, oh, you missed a spot, oh, what you doing?
Oh no, not them.
Oh,
I don't get them.
them.
No more.
Yeah, when you first start off, and
Yeah,
for us
yeah,
as
a few
ladies,
years ago, yeah.
for us as ladies, we get that a lot, especially when
Even if you've already
Yeah,
proven
you-
yourself to them.
And that was that, and,
They could have been in your chair for 15. This is their 15th time in your
Mhm.
chair.
and that was going to be my next question for y'all, like because I have a female barber upstairs, and I told her from the jump, like you're going to get the side eye, like all the time. Not only is because not only because in this shop you're a new face, but you're also a woman, and I haven't had a whole lot of barbers in my life. I started cutting my hair at 12, so it's like. The few times I had a woman cut my hair, and I ain't like it. I ain't lying. I didn't
and I
like
hear
it.
different. I hear different.
Yeah,
Me
I didn't
too.
like it the first time. But when I went to barber school at Avera's,
Yeah.
it was this, I forgot her name, but she was nice as a son of a bitch. And then
Miss Shirley?
hell no, she was mean. I forgot the girl name that cut my hair though, but she was nice with it. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. So it changed the whole thing. So it's like, as women in a male-dominated field, it's like y'all gotta double prove yourselves. How is that? Like, is that pressure or like, do y'all thrive off of that type of challenge when you see somebody that might be doubting you? Because I know it's there. I see it all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of live by like my own. I'm a free spirit, so I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless. That's how I look at it. It is pressure, however, I really feel like it depends on where you go with your business. Like I'm on my own, I'm in my own suite, so I make my own rules. versus when I was working with somebody, you know, I couldn't cut on a certain day, I couldn't cut after a certain time. So I feel like it puts you in a box.
Who does that?
So
I mean, no, never mind. I don't want to hear about nobody else's business.
but I'm saying like, but even like
That's
even
not how
for
it is
working for
here.
corporate barbershops, you know what I'm saying? You can't take too long because they want the client retention. They want you to be able to cut 20 people in a certain amount of time, and you know your commission is not adding up. So it's a lot of pressure, and those type of places normally hire females.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I just had to step out on that faith and be like, look, girl, you got this, you can cut. You know, so.
That, your answer for that question gave me a whole nother question. This is why I like this type of dialogue, because this type of shit, I can just come up with a few talking points and then it goes from there.
Right.
Now, when we met, a lot of people don't know this, right? Well, I gotta give a small announcement. I be teaching classes and shit sometimes.
You fell off.
Hold
You
up.
taught one
I told
class.
You and Tia.
One class,
I
and
know.
that was it.
Yeah, I taught one class, but
And
you
that
were
was
in it.
it.
You were in
What?
it.
I was in it. I was in it.
So
You and Tia
my
went.
Yeah.
and that's in like what I wanted to
Because
ask.
you
Like,
have
you worked
to
at a
want-
corporate bar. You worked
Yes.
for one of those corporate chains.
Yes.
Yeah, we were
But
good
you
together.
have to want. Yes. That's
Oh,
why
y'all-
I'm at Quan.
I was
Okay.
the only barber there.
Mm-hmm.
The only real bar.
The only licensed barber.
Was Joe there when you were there?
No, he was. He came later.
Oh, okay.
He came later.
But here's the thing, right? As any stylist,
She just
I
kinda
hate
wowed me out a little bit.
what?
Kind of wild me out a little bit. Like,
No.
Does that mean I need to teach more classes or some
You
shit like
do.
that?
I'm kind of disappointed because, life happens, and you don't know everybody's situation. You don't know everybody's story. But I think that you had a great turnout for one class being your first class, and think about it. It's 3 years later. It's 3 years later. If you would have kept doing classes, imagine how many more people you would have influenced. And
Can I
how
tell you a
many-
secret?
Go ahead, go for it. I ain't even
I'm
gonna
gonna
answer
do
the
a class
question,
this year.
Corey.
I know, but go ahead. I don't ever stay on topic. Everybody listens to the show knows.
Dang.
I am doing a class this year.
Okay.
I was actually thinking about doing like a series of classes, like a barber boot camp type thing. I'm not gonna go into details because I don't want, people.
Okay, you gotta get your
Yeah.
logistics
But
together.
yeah,
I
but for
mean,
this-
from what I
I'm
took
doing another
away from
class
your
this year.
class, it was a great starting point for you to kind of build off of.
Mhm.
And had you been hungry or passionate about,
Educating.
educating, right, you could have built off of that. Because you can tell I'm very big on education. And when I go to a class, I know the difference between somebody who's just teaching me something that they know how to do, and I know the difference between an actual educator. Now, when I went to Corey's class, you from Baltimore?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, oh, this is just a Baltimore guy. He knows what he's doing, and he's teaching us what he knows. He's not necessarily an educator, but I said to myself, if he continues to do this, he's going to become a great educator, So when I noticed that you didn't do any more classes after that, I was like, dang, So with going back to my initial thought, it's a lot of people out here that's just teaching what they know how to do, and they're not actual educators, and they don't, they're not looking to build community, right? And when you decide to take on that role of teaching somebody something, you have to think.
You have a responsibility.
You have a responsibility. For you might have been in the industry for 10, 15 years, but that person might have, this is their first time cutting. So you have played a big part in their journey or milestone. You get what I'm saying? So it makes a difference. It makes a world of a difference. And that's why consistency is so important in this industry for us. Because the problem is we live in this microwave society where people want things to happen so quick, and if it don't pop like they want it to, they fall off or they just get discouraged or whatever the case may be. Life happens, they find every excuse in a book to be like, you know what, no, or it just is what it is. I just fell off. No, when you take on that responsibility, you building a community, you building a team away from your team. You know what I mean? So I forgot even where that came from. But
Don't worry about it.
But
Me
yeah,
too. But it sounded good as a son of a bitch.
it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But yes, that's where me and Corey met. And I found a class on Eventbrite. we were working together at the corporate barbershop, and I was like, I was hungry to get better. I wanted to put in the work, and I knew that I wasn't getting what I needed where I was at. So I had to venture out and find other people to teach me, besides YouTube, to teach me what I needed to learn. Because I wanted to be great. I wanted to be much better, right? So I got on Eventbrite. I found Ashley D. Renee. That's how I found it. And then Corey was giving a class. I went, didn't know what to expect, and boom, we're here 3-4 years later.
But did you learn anything?
Absolutely, I learned
Did it
something.
help you?
At that time, absolutely.
That works for me.
Yeah.
I don't need a whole lot of validation, as long as it helps you. But you know what? The thing about that, the reason why I haven't done any more classes is because, first of all, I never wanted to teach classes.
So what made you do that class?
Because I went to a class at her shop, and she was like, would you be interested in... All right, set that shit up, let me know when I need to show up.
Okay.
I'll post for that. Like, it wasn't like a thing where I cultivated the whole thing. Like, no. But now with this idea that I have in my brain that I have to put out in the world.
With your brand and everything like that, why not?
Yeah, now, you know, the boot camp idea is...
in the works.
A brainchild of mine that I can be passionate about, that I can, you know, push with great confidence.
Okay.
And want to do it more often.
Yeah.
Because at this point, at this stage of my career, it's like, you ain't busting much more hair you can cut.
See, okay.
For me, personally, like, especially now with my leg, like, I don't want to cut that much hair. Like, the amount of hair that I used to cut versus now, like, I cut way less. Because at the time when I did that class, I was 20, 25 a day, easy. 20, 25 a day, easy. Now it's like 12, 13.
Yeah.
If I hit 15 for a day, I'm just showing the fuck up. I'm just on some greedy shit.
Do you choose to cut that many, or you
I'm
just
not,
feel
I
like...
don't.
However many can fit in my schedule.
Yeah. But are you cool with that? Like, do you feel like, you know what?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm a work guy. Like, I enjoy the benefits that, you know, ownership and being a business owner. I enjoy the benefits that brings, but real talk, I'm a worker.
Yeah.
I'll be here. I just stopped working 6 days a week. I don't have to do that shit. Like, I don't.
Once you realize it, it's like it really hits you, and you're just like, you know what, I don't have to do this.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Work 5 days now.
You be so nervous about, like, oh, what I'm going to do, or what if I can't do that? What if this person need a haircut? What is this? Am I going to make less money?
Yeah.
Or, you know, and then when you really just say, you know what, just do it. And you do it, you see you still cutting the same amount of people in less time and making way more money. Way more money. You're like, dang, all right, I should have been this. But I really feel like that's you evolving as a business professional.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see the next level.
I've always had this idea that duly licensed, you know, people make a shitload of money.
Okay.
But hold up. But then I stopped thinking that way as the years went by. Now my question to how, being that y'all, you know, y'all stylists, barbers and stylists, barber stylists, but however you want to do it. How do y'all?
We are artists.
Artists, okay. But how do y'all make that work? Like, what are you doing? Like a weave for 1 minute and then the fade the next? Like, how does that work in y'all schedule?
Go ahead.
To maximize.
You gotta
know
be able, for me, I'll say for me, I can switch gears quick. I can have a whole color and extension client at, 9 a.m., do her from 9 to 12, and then take my break or whatever, take a little lunch, and then at 1, I know I gotta do a fade real quick, and then turn around after that fade, I know I gotta do, a color and a silk press or something like that. I have good time management and good balance, and when you have control with time management and good balance, when you have control of your own schedule, it's easy for you to have a very smooth day. Yeah. It's not a lot. Your talent, your creativeness, I mean, that's a given, right? But if you can get that time, if you know that, hey, it's going to take you this amount of time for this person, it's smooth sailing. It really isn't, it's just first nature to just go from one thing to the other. You get what I'm saying? Because it just is what it is. It's really no different. It's all just the art of it, right?
That's a hell of a zone to stay in. because for me, like even like
It's not
when we
work
were
to
waiting,
me. And I think when you look at it like it's work, that's when you have those days. You something piss you off or you ain't cutting as good. I'm doing what I love to do. Like, I really, like, I was just saying to my mother, I was like, I'm playing on getting from behind the chairs. I'm about 65, 70. Like,
Oh, no, not me. No, I don't know about all that. I love what I do.
that's love. That is love.
Like, I really like it. Like, to me, doing hair, that's my zen.
But
like,
you know what?
my
That's how
I
it
love
was
it
at-
too.
at
I can
Barbers, too,
respect
But,
that.
I mean, I'm not going to stay, like, I mean, I have other plans.
Right.
But if I still plan on having a clientele
Absolutely.
of people
I agree with
that I
that.
cut, even if it's 5 people,
Or one person
Yeah.
or whatever, just to
Yeah.
get that creative adrenaline rush,
Mhm.
kind of sort of at
I
that
really
age.
feel like it's good for the mind, it's good for the body,
Body.
it keeps you on your toes.
It keeps
like,
you sharp. It does.
It does,
Absolutely.
and I feel like you know, you have to stay active, and I think like it encourages me to take better care of myself now because these are the plans that I have 30 plus years from now. You know,
Mhm.
so it just I feel like with me, it took me a minute to get that schedule together. I ain't gonna lie to you. It
I'm
did.
gonna say,
That's
'cause I
not
was
how
looking
it wasn't
Yeah.
overnight.
Cause I can before you tell me
Mhm.
like can I cause for me as a barber that does like different services,
Yeah.
I know like damn I gotta do this I gotta do a cut and color,
Mhm.
but shit I can squeeze another like that's how my brain works. I'm like how does I'm sure at some point like it's a conflict because if I can have a conflict with just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a fade, a regular, and a little bit of
yeah.
color.
Something
I can
remote,
imagine
somebody
going from
late.
something long like that. It
Mhm.
might take you an hour or two. I don't know how the styles take, but I know for me, I cut maybe 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But then you gotta go do this for an hour and a half or two. Like
Well, it's also different too, Corey, because you're in an open concept place, right?
Yeah.
Whereas though we're in one small
And
space
you take
controlled.
walk-ins, correct?
me,
Yeah.
no.
Oh. So, like, but did you always not take walk-ins? Were you always appointment only?
No, of course not.
Okay, so like there, I think that's another thing. Like
I didn't do
I
color and
haven't
stuff.
ever
but
worked-
you were-
since I've been on my own, I haven't ever done the walk-in thing.
Me
Like
neither.
I've had maybe a few times, but not like it's people just bum rushing
But being
me
in
all
a suite,
day.
you get a lot of walk-ins?
I do. I mean, and that's what I mean. Yeah, we got a lot of walk-ins.
Really?
And, yeah, all the time.
I get a lot of random requests, like people who will just come into the building and be like, "Oh, I want to see Legacia," and they'll come to my door like, "Yeah, this person is up front asking for you," and it's just like,
Walk-ins. But I mean,
no.
but for the most part, I mean, I turn down a lot of people, you know, because I prefer to do the appointment. It helps me stay organized, and I'm just big on organization. And I
You still
also,
got all your books. I would say.
so,
you still-
but I feel
I couldn't
like
tell you where them
I
shits
just
at.
wanted that, like me. If
But
I,
it says something for your business too. When a client, I do not want to be known as a stylist
that's
or
late all
that's
the time.
late all the time, but
I
has
get
the
it so
nerve
much
to
now.
want grade A tips and Christmas gifts and
I
you
like
know
Christmas gifts.
you want that person to be
I fucking
on
love
time.
y'all because this is the kind of shit I wanted to hear.
No,
People
no,
need to hear
I'm
this
not.
shit.
I'm
Like,
not like
but
that. I
I'm
give
not gonna lie.
grade A service, and that's why my clients take care of me how I take care of them. You know what I mean? They know how I am about my time management. They know that, you know, even if I'm a minute late or 2 minutes late, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm gonna be 5 minutes late or whatever, which is very rare. And my clients, they all know. But you have to think, I think, you know, long term, right? I think expansion. So, you know, your reputation, you don't, just certain things. I never wanted to be that late person who complain and have so much anxiety all the time because you
Just
can't
keep
get
it
your
going
book
on,
together.
yeah.
You know what I mean? No. You make an
Structure.
excuse. Put the work
Structure.
in. Sit down,
Yeah.
figure out how long it takes you to cut. You know, how long does it take you to cut when you're talking to somebody? How long does it take you to cut if you're going straight through and you're not talking at all? You know what I mean?
I have something like a rhetorical question now.
Go for it.
Name one successful business without structure.
You said one successful.
Name one successful business that doesn't have structure.
These online boutiques.
Successful?
I mean,
I don't know
what
if
is-
businesses are successful.
Well, I say this.
Everybody's definition
Well,
of success is different.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that.
What you
I
mean,
like,
Corey?
what's your definition of success? Like, what do you determine?
Success
being
nowadays is
successful?
a lot of fraud.
And I feel like it's very loosely used.
See, here's the thing.
We listen.
I mean, success is just success
Like
to me. Like,
consistent
like,
revenue.
yeah, like
Uh,
that's
but,
manageable.
online
That
boutiques,
has like
I feel
because
Yeah.
for for you to be an online boutique, you have to have some sort of structure.
Yeah, but
But
I
that's
feel
what
like
I'm saying, like, because
some to it, yeah.
the things that y'all are
Okay.
saying right now is your clients take care of you because of how you operate, because how you structured your business.
Mhm.
I feel like
And you
my-
stick to it. That's all I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, you gotta have that structure for you to have clients that respect your structure. That makes it even better because that means you can respect them as they can respect you. You know, everything is mutual at this point. We understand each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, all right. So I have a client. He's never been on time since I've met him. Ever.
We all have those.
But when I say like I feel like my clients take care of me because of the bond we have. Like I like my client, like my family. I don't have no friends outside. Like my clients is like people.
Really?
And
I'm not like that.
I stay because I'm a mother. So when I'm off work, I'm mom. You know, and I'm taking care of my family. But when I'm at work with my clients, like we talk about everything. Like we like family. So if he's late. I know he's so late because his friend, I cut his best friends too, and he said he's been late their whole friendship over 40 years. So that right there kind of gave me an idea what type of person. So once I found out what he did for a living and got to know him, I'm like, he just really has an issue with time. So what I do is I give him a time because I know he's going to be late, but I schedule him the time I need him to be there. He's always on time for that time. So that's how I work that out.
Oh,
and I schedule people, and it works.
That's structure.
But when I say that's one of my biggest tippers, you know, he really looks out. Like knowledge, when it comes to, you know, economics, finances, that's his arena. Like, so I learned, I take the.
It's a trade off.
Yeah, so I feel like,
That's
you know,
okay.
it's about the money because you're going to get paid. But I feel like the people that I cut, I'm so blessed to have as a
Me too.
clientele. Like, I've learned so much and grown as a person. They connected me. And it's just like, it's so funny, the old shop, a guy used to always say, he said, one of those people gonna change your life one day. And he said, you ever wonder who it's gonna be? I'm like, I don't even look at it like that. I just feel like everybody, I'm gonna get something from everybody. You know, and that just helps me just grow as a person. Like, this was a big leap of faith, get my own suite, because you hear so many stories. You know, the water don't be working, or they lock the place up, or, you know, people crazy walking by, girl. You gonna be in there like by yourself? I'd be like, oh man, I don't wanna be paying all this money. You know, so I was just like, fuck it, let's go for it. You know,
Yeah, because
let's go for it. So I went for it.
So you left the shop environment. It wasn't strange
You know,
being, you know, solo.
it was, and I was worried about who was gonna follow me. And I took.
Really?
You take a big
I took a big
did?
cut in clientele because I was right across the street from a hospital and I was getting it. Like, them people was coming down themselves, all across the street, getting their haircut, going home. But when they was like, you in Towson? Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and stay over here. You know, most people live west side, so I'm like, all right. But I sat down and I added, I knew what price I wanted to charge. I knew what was reasonable. With today's world and the pandemic played a big role in that. I ain't gonna lie, this pandemic, I've been extremely blessed. So, with that, it just helped me, I know the minimal amount of people I can take to make money. So, like, if I get this number in 5 days that I work, I'm good. Like, if I get more, yeah, I always have space for more, but this is the minimum. And I always hit it. I always go over. So it's like I always just set goals. I just keep leveling up. I don't think negative. I don't ever say like, oh, it's slow. People complain about salons being slow after Christmas, July. Not me.
I have a question for you. How long have you been cutting your hair?
I've been licensed as a barber since 2015. And I've been a licensed cosmetologist since 2012. But I've done hair, like, in shops, my little hustle, catching the buzz, doing braids since I was 12.
That's beautiful. And like, I'm listening to you and it make me realize like how blessed
Yeah.
I am too. Like, because I don't know slow day. I can't tell you the last time I had a slow day. And now, like, even if it is a slow day, it's not even viewed as a slow day. Yeah, I'm getting a break.
It's a chill day.
I'm getting a break.
It's a chill day.
Like,
Yeah, like today was a
like,
chill day.
I don't know, because I don't remember the last time I really had a slow week.
Like, I remember
Like-
sitting in a chair when my first shop I worked in, it was my sister aunt. I was 19, and she only could hire me to braid. She was like, you know, you don't have no license, you can't, you know, do anything. And we had a barber in there, and that guy, he did hair and he cut, but, you know, he mostly cut guys' hair. But he was just saying, once you get in that groove, just stay there. Like, don't think negative. Just keep, you know, they'll come. You gotta and this was before social media. So I feel like if you started back then, and you made a way, this social media thing, that ain't nothing. Like, seriously, you're not gonna see the so say no, you're not popular and you don't have 10,000 followers, but I'm telling you, your bank account say otherwise.
What do you need 10,000 as a barber? What do you need 10,000?
But you know, there's people argument sometimes.
I got.
It amazes me.
You can't cut 10,000 people.
But see, here's the thing.
You
A
can't
lot
cut
of times,
10,000
social
people.
media, they make it to where as though these Gen Zs and millennials and stuff like that, they base you, before they even look at your work, they look at your following.
Yeah.
Before they even look at your work, they look at your following and your bio. And that's a big issue. You can have a big following and be a trash artist, really. You can have terrible customer service. You can have a terrible setup. Really, I mean, think about the convenience of even booking an appointment with somebody. You know what I mean? Think about how they have everything set up online. Like, that tells you a lot about a professional, right? Just that online presence, that online setup, you know? But my issue is that a lot of times they judge you based off of your numbers before they even look at your work sometimes, you know? And that's the special
I
part
feel like
about...
you've had these types of conversations before.
What you mean?
Because I didn't know that.
What? That people judge you off of your numbers before you...
Yeah.
Absolutely
I didn't know
they do.
I don't know how people judge me. I let my work speak for itself.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't even care about the likes, none of that. I mean, it's nice. It's cool to get, you know, everybody want to be shown some appreciation. And that's how I look at it. I look at people appreciate me, not people validating me, because I validate myself. So I look at it like whatever I post.
You validated yourself when you posted it.
When
'cause
you
thought that shit
validated
was
yourself when
postable.
you got that license.
Right.
You validated yourself when
I
you
knew I
decided...
when I was 12 and I
When
picked
you
up the clip,
exactly when you decided that,
yeah, I knew I was
that
supposed
was
to be
it.
chick, so you can't. I'm telling you, I tell anybody, you can't tell me I can't cut hair.
Right.
I know I can cut hair. So
Right.
like, I took a class with a really well-known barber recently, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really. He was nice, he was respectful, but he took clients during our one-on-one, and I paid him quite a bit of money, and I felt like that wasn't a proper way to teach somebody.
he wasn't an educator.
Exactly. Even my client was like, that wasn't cool. You know, the client that I took. So I said, okay. And what I learned, I actually watched it on YouTube and ended up figuring it out. But I say all that to say, sometimes, like you said, if people view you, you know, that virtual reality way, they never get the real you. So I don't care about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like my work won't speak for itself. When people see me in the streets, I always speak. When you come to my shop, what you see is what you get. Like, my thing is, I like dressing up when I go to work.
Me
So
too.
like, you know, I don't go in there looking with my hair all over my head. If my hair mess, just like today, I'm gonna have my cute hat on. Like, I like that. I like when my clients come, oh, you look nice today. I've been told, oh, make sure when you do make it, don't dress up too much because you don't want people to think you're getting too much money, or make sure you look bummy. And I'm thinking,
But
like,
here's the
I don't
thing.
look like that.
But here's the thing, you can't say, well, I don't think that we can say as artists.